I literally have the best session today with a patient, and I really want to get into it with you. We don't talk about tweens enough when it comes to period health. We know that it's a rite of passage, but we don't think of it as a vital sign, and your period is a vital sign. I look at the intakes that I have for my perimenopausal and my menopausal patients, and I notice a few things in common, that their symptoms, their period woes, their hormone issues, they happened all the way back in their tweens. I mean, I'm talking 12, 13, 15, 16. Did you know there's pediatric OBGYNs? Yeah, there's adolescent OBGYNs, pediatric OBGYNs, predominantly in the States, and they are hard to find. Not all OBGYNs know what they're doing or have taken additional courses or additional training when it comes to hormones, so you want to check on that too, because it's very important. What happens before we have our period? What does our progesterone do? How do we feel? We feel sad. We get cramps. Everything hurts. We're cranky. Just for a couple of days though. Why wouldn't we top up that progesterone? Why are we here? There's a birth control pill full of synthetic ick. Take it all month long. What? Why are we not just giving progesterone for, 2 to 3 days before your period starts when you need it? Smaller doses because they're smaller people. Instead, we're saying, oh God, my daughter, she's not sexually active, so we don't need to see an OBGYN yet. So we'll just see her, whoever, her pediatrician, or in some cases it's a GP now. We'll go see, and they're going to say, oh, painful period, yeah, here's a birth control pill. You don't need it because you're not sexually active, but it's going to help with that. But it's not. You're doing the child a disservice. But nobody's talking about menses when it comes to teens. I'd been chatting with my patient about all of the signs and symptoms that their daughter was now experiencing were very similar to what they had experienced as a teenager when the onset of menses happened. And as luck would have it, we had that discussion, and I said, there are a lot of options out there. None of them are birth control. There are herbal remedies, and as a clinical herbalist, as well as being someone who is a hormone specialist, I do see that herbs have limitations, but they also have a place, especially when it comes to our tweens. We have herbs that help with the spasms and the contracting of the uterus, the pain, spasms, the cramping, the onset of the flow. Sometimes it gets stuck and they need a little bit of help. There are herbs that will help you bring your period out. Or the flow is too much, there's clots. There are things to bring on a menses. In some of the more severe cases where the mood is just so intense, or the cramps are really, really bad, a little bit of progesterone 2 to 3 days before the period starts is a game changer. Why is nobody talking about this? Before you come for me saying you shouldn't be mentioning progesterone for teenagers, but it's okay to mention birth control pills, if you're okay with offering the birth control pill of any kind to a teen, to a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girl, but you're not okay with a little bit of micronized, super duper low dose progesterone that her body produces to top up for 2 to 3 days of the month rather than birth control for the whole month, then there's a bigger problem.